Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Northeast Weather 1. Let's get into the forecast. So, first thing here is we're going to talk about what's happening with our fronts, what's the weather pattern. Sadly, this pattern is gonna kind of repeat and repeat and repeat. A lot of the same thing happening through weeks and through to maybe even mid-November. Right now, we currently have, let's get that low pressure system. It says it's in Iowa right now, or at least just leaving Iowa. It is more to the east. It is more to the east. This was not updated yet, but it's nearing us. It is nearing us. We have a stationary front in the north that we can see right where San Francisco, Washington, Oregon, Portland, Victoria, Vancouver. We have another low. We have another surface low with a cold front, a really big cold front moving through. If you want cold weather, sadly, well, we're going to get cold weather for our covering area, but this is going to be another Pacific front. So, it's not going to be Arctic air. It's just going to be cooler air. I would expect it might bring the same conditions as this front, which means, because right now this front that's in Illinois, basically, is a strong front. Even the National Weather Service, Cleveland, says this is a strong front. And I expect the front right there in Oregon and Washington to also be a strong front. There's a bit more detailed look at our weather patterns. So right now, you see we have a high pressure to the east. We have a building high pressure in South Texas. I'm watching that. I don't think that's gonna stay for a while. That actually I think is gonna move northwest towards the Rockies in a few weeks or so. And then, but you see these lows. So you see this low right here. We're in Minnesota. That is our mid and upper level low. That's causing our trough. So you can kind of see this circle, half circle like feature below that red L in Minnesota. You can kind of see that those colors in Iowa, the border of Iowa and Illinois get more warmer and more. That means a more faster wind up in the atmosphere. And you can see by those streamlines, the winds are moving along and curving along that low pressure system. So if we have storms, it's going to ride along the jet stream or the trough. This jet stream, it's going to ride along the jet stream. So the winds, so not really the wind. This is in the upper atmosphere, so it does not cause a lot of surface winds to be high. But you can see the general wind pattern. So if we do get storms, or at least if we do get rain cells / storms, which I have really a confidence that at least we will see at least one storm and a few chances of rain. But if we do, they're going to generally be moving northeast. But you can see right next to that red L in Wisconsin, that little lighter, less opacity, that L with 1002, if that is our surface low. So there's a difference between mid and upper level lows and a surface low. So that surface lows bring the fronts. So you see that surface low has that really strong cold front with it. And with the cold front's pushing east, which means the storms out in front of it are going to be pushing east, which is why I'll draw an arrow for you, which is why I think storms are going to be moving generally east-northeast for us, combining the jet stream and the low pressure, and combining the jet stream trough and the cold front. Now, to the far west, once again in Oregon, that kind of area, north of California and Nevada, you can see that there's another L. There's another mid and upper level low. You can kind of see below that kind of half circle starting to try to form those more warmer colors, more faster wind up in the atmosphere. That is our next system that is going to go kind of southeast a little bit, and when it does that, it's going to actually kind of amplify. It's going to really amplify. You can see to the south and west where it is amplifying that more yellowish and orange colors. That means that it is amplifying. It's going to be a backloaded trough, so which means that's actually going to be a stronger trough than this original one was, which means that our severe weather threat can actually be stronger in the plains, and that's what the Storm Prediction Center actually had yesterday, a day 5 risk, which is really not common for, October. It's October still. Happy Halloween, by the way. Our gusts are going to be around 40 to 45 miles per hour. So it's going to be breezy and gusty. That also was helped by the front. So here's the current local radar. You can see black, blue, and green some cells popping up, and these are just some rain cells. Now, if I go a little bit off our covering area, but still in our general covering area near Cleveland, you can kind of see this front move by. Here's this is that line of storms, and once again, you can kind of see that it's stronger in the south, where there's more instability, there's more dew points, and up here it's kind of decaying a little bit, right where that low is. You can actually see that low pressure right here. This is severe weather risk, but that severe weather risk, once again, is for the south. I don't think we're going to see anything out of severe weather. If we do, it's going to be, from Memphis down to Louisiana. That's what I'm thinking right now. There is a risk for more north, and it actually goes to Cincinnati. I think those are just going to be some strong storms, potentially. Maybe, I don't think as much of severe weather, but there is a chance of some damaging winds as our main threat for the United States. Also, if you are from Snapchat, my Snapchat post, I did call it where yesterday in my forecast video I talked about how there actually was a severe weather risk for northwestern Ohio and central Michigan. I talked about how the SBC is probably going to downgrade that more to this, not downgrade, but move that more to the south, and they did move that more to the south. They did move it more down to the south. So it's right around the time where I said we can see our first, yesterday I called it first peak, our first our first chance of rain. Basically, it's not looking like a storm. There's no storms right now. Not looking like storms right now. Just some rain cells moving through. And we can see once again that northeast component. It looks like it's going to move northeast right now. At least it'll move northeast. Cuyahoga County is going to probably get on this. So we are getting in on this once again. But looking at this setup right now, it does look like there could be some hope for trick-or-treating time in terms of no rain. I do think that there will be some rain, but it looks like less coverage around that time, or less coverage around 5 to 9 p.m. Less coverage, you know what I mean? Yesterday we had more coverage with the models. Now models are saying, hey, maybe we won't have as much coverage. But that can change. I still think we're going to have some sort of coverage and then isolated, but there is some hope. I do want to draw your attention to outside our covering area, to Chicago, this little line right here. So there is one model that does intensify this to a line of storms, potentially a strong storm or two. That will be moving through our area around Halloween time. I am watching that for the most weather impact that we'll have today. I am watching that. There's a lot of rain and clouds out in front of it, which means instability is not going to be in favor of this. But it is getting, helped by the low. It's getting helped by the front. Talking about severe weather, here's the current day 1 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. And you can see that there in far northwestern Ohio, that risk is low. In far northwestern Ohio, there is no more severe risk, and now it's just general thunderstorm risk. And I agree with this. There is a little bit of northwestern Cuyahoga County, which is our coverage area, but the majority of our coverage area is not in a thunderstorm risk. I do think that we can still get the thunderstorms if, we get more coverage and that line kind of intensifies. I still think a thunderstorm or two is possible. But mostly rain. It's going to be mostly rain. PC, day 1 outlook, so most of Ohio, general thunderstorms. If you look to the south, if you look to the southeast, Cincinnati, and that area is in that dark green marginal risk. Personally, for everything in this image, that area, I do not think we're going to see some severe weather. Maybe in terms of a few strong storms, but not severe. But once again, I cannot rule out maybe the main risk is damaging winds, so I cannot rule out, some damaging winds, some severe winds in that, dark green area. Before we go into the models, I do want to show you our current, as I'm recording, temperatures. All these temperatures, except for Lake Erie, are going to be going up toward, because we're nearing the peak of daylight heating. We're a few hours away. But right now, Cuyahoga County and Geauga County are at 71 degrees. We actually are on the brink of 72. We're probably at 72. The majority of Cuyahoga County is probably at 72, and so is Geauga. Lake County, we're at 70. I probably at 71 right now. In Lake Erie, once again, the majority of Lake Erie is actually at 59 degrees, but I am seeing some spots growing to 60 degrees. So 60 degrees as the same as yesterday for there in Lake Erie. This model, I think, does a little bit of better. Wait, hold on. I do want to show you one more model. This is the NAM 3KM model. I will say this model does take actually, because right now this is actually what it kind of looks like right now. Almost what it looks like right now. It shows a little bit more rain, so this does a bit of a better job at our current radar. That's interesting. But yeah, 12 p.m. that rain chance near zero. But once again, by 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., once again, we're a bit more isolated on this model run, but it's still there. It's still there. So I definitely think that the areas near us or spots in our covering area in our counties are going to get some light rain. Light to maybe moderate rain. Then before Halloween, the chances are very isolated. This is why I think that there is some hope. This is why I think that there is some, because this model and some of the HRRR are saying that, hey, there is some hope scattered through trick-or-treating. There is some hope. But I don't know how much hope there can be. By 10 p.m., that rain chance increases. This is the start of... By 6 p.m., that rain chance increases. This is the start of Halloween, and the rain chance does increase. Mainly for Cuyahoga County by this model. So I think Cuyahoga County actually has a bit more of a higher chance of precipitation at this time. But still isolated for our covering area. By 9 p.m., it does take a heavy rain shower, potentially a thunderstorm, in through the area. And it does take... This model does take all of Halloween to be rainy and a thunderstorm. I do want to say that. But there is some scattered, you can zoom in, there is some scattered hope. And it all comes down to some, at 12 a.m., a lot of precipitation. This is, near this time is our greatest rain chance. I'm actually going to have, I just made the 7-day forecast, and I'm actually going to have to upgrade that, I think, by looking at these two models. So yeah, and then by, once again, 3 a.m., this thing's out of here. So with that, let's end off on our not-so-7-day forecast. Once again, I'll restart the 7-day forecast Monday on a new week. Right now, it's Thursday. Once again, nothing really changed. Cold front coming, 75 degrees is our general peak for if we add our 3 covering counties into one, 75 degrees. I do have a 60% at our max precipitation, which would be around Halloween time or just after. I have it at 60% chance. I'm going to upgrade that to a 70% chance. So 70% chance, lows 59 degrees. Friday after the front comes, highs, once again for all 3 counties under one of the general consensus, highs will be 63 degrees, 20% chance of precipitation. I may upgrade that to 30, and our lows will be 45 degrees, Saturday 59 degrees, 0%, Sunday 59 degrees, our chance still says 20% being conservative. I do think that will increase, though. I do think on Sunday to Monday, our precipitation chance will increase. So that's something to keep in mind. So thank you for watching our second video in Northeast Weather 1. Once again, covering all 3 counties in Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, Geauga, and Lake. Once again, rain, here, once again, that local radar, rain is coming. Rain is on our way, so watch out for that. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good Halloween. Happy trick-or-treating if you are going.